Tuan. I prepared some remarks for brevity. So rarely in human history have the high stakes of the relationship between technology, peace, democracy, and the future of the planet been so clear, or the relationship of current interconnected crisis with technological choices of the past. The legacy of our modern technological history reverberates ominously today in the current crisis. The concept of technological innovation as a form of perpetual competition, whether military, industrial, economic, or political, in which technological leadership and innovation are not viewed as a collective shared path towards the betterment of human conditions many times. My institute, the Institute of Future Innovation Studies at John Cabot University, has joined the initiative led by the Boston Global Forum to contribute to the development of an alternative vision for technological innovation and technology as a driver of peace, a multi-stakeholder movement towards the age of global enlightenment, initiated and led by the UN Centennial Initiative, the United Nations Academic Impact, and the Boston Global Forum, that wants to lead with their partners the future through a different set of technological and societal aspirations and goals. History and nature have recently shown the high cost of various merely utilitarian choices in technological development that have also contributed to a growing global social divide, economic inequality, the current climate crisis, an increasing number of health and social crises, and an unsustainable reliance on depletable and scarce resources for economic growth that leads to war and great losses. An alternative future vision for the equitable and democratic use of current and emerging technologies is crucial to the survival of democracy, the triumph of peace in the face of war, and the challenges posed by authoritarian governments and regimes that feed on these inequalities. In the few minutes I have, I'd like to discuss three concrete ideas and action plans that I think could help AI, one of the most revolutionary technologies of the present and future, to become a promising tool for tackling some of these challenges and to achieve greater levels of social justice, a green agenda, and the sustainable development goals that will, according to us, be at the base of any quest for world peace. So, one, economic solidarity and social responsible innovation. So as we progress through human history into different eras of industrial revolutions, we can see that technological innovation, energy use, and economic growth all move in the same direction at the same time. This economic model has resulted in enormously transformative social processes that have been extremely beneficial to a portion of humanity, but socially costly for society that have been unable to benefit from these evolutions. Throughout history, humanity has always competed and fought for limited resources, and technology has provided the few the tools they need to compete with nature or outcompete other humans for an ever-increasing share of these limited resources. The new technological cycle, based on new green energy systems and AI applications, appear poised to repeat many of the same systematic errors. The green agenda, as it seems to be defined right now globally, will clearly benefit some countries more than others and possibly not really solve the problems it's set to tackle. When better energy standards are developed and imposed on a global scale, countries that pioneered these emerging technological standards gain a significant competitive advantage on the others. A true ethical and green agenda can only be organized globally based on economic solidarity measures and social responsible technological innovation and planning, in which early innovators and polluters create new technological sustainable development models that support other nations' right to achieve the same social, technological, and economic advancements. Sustainable development requires a systemic global approach, new methodologies, new scientific approaches, new technological solutions, and a more coherent global political movement that questions the first market leads all approach and questions the larger context of this crisis. As a society that pioneered this technological transformation, accelerated transition to new technologies and to the new era powered by AI and fueled by new type of energy sources, such as data, questions arise about the model that has guided humanity historical transformations and precious amount to ensure that we understand the risks and avoid the old patterns. We must ensure that data do not become the next form of pollution and that AI development does not endanger the planet and humanity. We must reduce data waste while also ensuring the AI systems maximize the scientific and social utility of globally collected scientific and citizens' data, as well as evaluate the fact that these AI-driven transformations will happen in social and economic settings that are very different from one another. To make meaningful progress in addressing the challenges of sustainable development requires the ability to integrate macro sustainability goals and high-tech solutions with locally developed micro solutions and low-tech alternatives. So the first take and the first suggestion from me is that if you want to be an actor of social change in the AI sustainable development, design and adopt AI systems that are scalable and economically diverse. So my recommendation number 2 is complexity theories will be the new standard in science, the future of AI, and a great resource to address global problems. The pandemic sparked a global debate about how government can avoid the disastrous effects of not sharing data and information globally and promptly. It showed the need for new systemic scientific theories and complex data models that can analyze complex data in real time. AI could help develop these complex systems and analysis and new economic and social theories to explain complex behaviors. AI systems can be built on nonlinear systems and logics, offer a unique opportunity, and they could handle complex analysis in unprecedented ways. AI are designed to be constantly expanded and transformed by new and diverse data and trained to process diverse data qualities in meaningful ways to solve complex systemic questions. Complexity science and nonlinear logics underpin AIs. These scientific approaches to complex and nonlinear thinking might move from math, physics, engineering, economics, political science in a multidimensional and systemic understanding of the deep ecology of technological innovation or the relationship of technology with humanity, life, the planet, and the well-being of humans. This systemic, holistic, deeply ecological, non-linear, complex perspective takes a new significance when considering the relationship between sustainability and AI, where AI can be conceived and helped to be developed as a tool to find elaborate complex solutions. For example, the 17 goals of the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development are an example of complexity. Thinking of the 17 sustainability goals as a systemic agenda for AI development can help developers to see AI as a cognitive and analytic tool made to help engineers, biologists, physicists, mathematicians, economists to study, analyze, and interact with nonlinear logics, complex processes, and scientific and social challenges. The UN Sustainability Development Goals are a collection of complex questions and targets that require complex and interconnected solutions. So AI should be developed to engage with this theory of complexity. So the take number 2 is that we should understand and engage scientifically with the concept of complex theories and models within all fields of expertise. So my concluding remarks is also about data, my last suggestion. So Green AI needs open data and data diplomacy. In my conclusion, I want to particularly focus on the key function that data, the energy source of AI systems, have to fuel sustainable AI innovation, and how to create a global and economically viable model for scientific and personal data exchange that is fundamental for the green economy, scientific discovery, the common good, and peace. The scientific and social benefits of open data exchanges and open science are difficult to argue against, as are the costs of not sharing scientific data, particularly when it comes to publicly funded research data. Large amounts of scientific data produced at great public expense are never used again. For example, in medicine, it is claimed that 85% of medical research data is wasted and never used again. This data waste as well as the cost of reproducing overlapping and duplicate data as quantifiable scientific, social, and economic costs for society and the planet, and is in every way equivalent to other forms of energy waste. So for this perspective, we consider open data as sustainable data. This is something I claim in my book. Open data as sustainable data that can significantly contribute to the goals of resources organization, waste reduction, optimizing, expediting scientific discovery, increasing social benefits, contributing to economic growth. The main problem with open data is the run counter to competing global political and legislative drive to protect intellectual property rights. This is where we have to cooperate to create a balance between public interest and economic interest. I specifically single out one initiative, which is the European Agenda for Open Science, that creates a very intriguing model to create this balance via data stewardship and data trusts. So my last and third take is that we need to design and adapt smart data sharing strategy systems and develop AI systems that use mixed data sets, both for commercial and public service use. To conclude, the climate crisis, the health crisis, the war have ignited throughout the world a confrontation between two basic ideologies. One that continues to see the future as a world dominated by few, and another that understands clearly that we share a common planet and hence a common future, and that history of humanity is ultimately connected to building a global vision for the quest of global enlightenment and the conquest of peace.